So, Mayet, what tools and resources would you recommend to others living with ADHD?
I would love to, provide a few things, a few resources here. First being understood.org. It's
Mhm.
a great place to start to understand ADHD, how it applies to you or others. It's packed with articles, podcasts, downloadable tools, videos, and just a plethora of information to understand ADHD and how it can affect you and what you can do about it. So it's a really great place to start. I really recommend it. And, once you're ready to act, to take action, I would recommend platforms like BetterHelp. There are several. It's a great resource on top of the benefit that you can get from therapy. I really like all the tools and resources that this platform offers, such as worksheets, journal prompts, group sessions, and even classes on very specific topics that can be very useful for someone with ADHD, such as myself. Another thing I want to share is sound frequencies. I really like playing sound frequencies in a timed manner in order to get in the headspace of, focus time, relax time, sleep even. And I do believe in the science of binaural beats. However, even if you don't, it is very useful to isolate a sound. The senses can be very overwhelming to people with ADHD. So having a specific sound going on as you're focusing, as you're sleeping, as you're even, doing random things, can be very helpful to kind of zone in and focus. I use apps like Endel or Beatfulness, but there are so many options out there. And the last resource, I've already mentioned bullet journaling, but it's worth mentioning again. While the exact method has evolved over the years, there's even an app now. I strongly just recommend looking into this for anyone who is struggling with organization, work-life balance, life changes, such as, receiving a diagnosis, and overall just mindfulness. I believe it's a tool that can serve you as a person however you want to use it, so the possibilities are really endless.
And I guess that if any of those tools sound interesting for someone who's listening, searching for on the internet should be a good place to start to either find them or to find out more information. Would you agree?
Absolutely. We are in a wonderful day and age where technology
Mhm.
is our best, or well, it can be a great resource,
Yeah,
and so it is our responsibility to seek this information.
I think you are so right to offer the kind of the flip side because sometimes I have noticed that a number of people have a tendency to wander off down the most amazing little rabbit holes of discovery, seeing where their internet searches find them, and some they can land up in some totally different and diverse places. But yeah, I think the fact that we do have access to so much information online makes things a whole lot easier for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so if people would like to reach out to learn more about you, where can they find you online?
Anyone who wants to share an idea, solve a problem, start a business, or even just reach out can do so on my website, www.visions creative ventures. I am most often on my inbox, so that's where I usually am. I am also on LinkedIn as Mayet Banos. no squiggly on the end. I'm also sometimes on Instagram at visions.creative.ventures. And really, I love to talk with people, collaborate, and discuss all kinds of things. Shoot me an email, a message, or a comment on the website. My inbox and my mind are always open.
Thank you. And we will share the links that you've given us there. We'll share them in the show notes to this episode. So, as a final question, what advice would you give to a person who has received, well, I suppose, possibly to someone who suspects that they may be demonstrating symptoms of ADHD or has received a diagnosis? Where should they start?
I have three key pieces of advice to someone who has either been recently diagnosed or thinks they might have a diagnosis of ADHD. The very first would be to understand ADHD. It is not just a popular acronym. It's not a trend. It's a real amalgamation of symptoms that can come into your life as adversity. And you know, I'm very adamant that it's up to you, up to me, up to everyone to adapt no matter the current situation. And like I mentioned, I believe we're in a wonderful age of accessibility. We have access to information online, in our circles, everywhere. We have access, and it's our responsibility. There's so many tools to help us get started, so many resources. Seek them, use them, but most of all, just really apply what you learn into your everyday life. That's the game changer, is the application of this knowledge. Which brings me to my second tip is don't forget everything you've learned so far. Just adapt from that point on with a clear vision of where you want to be. Because chances are, if you do have ADHD or another neurodiversity, is you've probably had to adapt in some sort of way your entire life to succeed. And so keep doing so. That really is it's key because we've already built up these skills to survive, to thrive. And so if we apply them with a little bit of strategy, so much can be achieved. And that brings me to my third tip, really, is to remember that having a diagnosis is not a death sentence. It's not a label. It's not a setback. It's an opportunity for change, the chance to make that strategy. Because everyone and anyone can reach their goals by adapting to that present situation, planning comprehensively for the future, and then acting every day in order to build it. And I'm a strong, strong believer of that. But if you don't know where to start, I do believe that there is a method to the madness. And I mean, I myself have spent years really discovering for myself and for my peers, my clients, and others around me, because I love to help people. I love discovering that method to the madness and that specific strategy that's going to help someone achieve their goals. So if I can say anything else to anyone who is wondering or struggling with a diagnosis of ADHD, is that there is hope. You are the center of it. Your resources are all around you. And if you don't know where to start, shoot me an email. We'll plan it out, we'll map it out, and we'll do it together.
Thank you. That is some really good advice and really good advice to give to someone. So, Mayet Banos, thank you so much for chatting to me and having the courage to share a little of your experiences and your challenges in being diagnosed as a person with ADHD. I really appreciate the time, and I thought it was fascinating to learn more about you and neurodiversity.
Thank you again for having me, Lois. If anything can come of this journey, of this struggle, if just a single person says, "Oh, this might be me," then the struggle itself is worth it. And so every day, I wake up with the purpose to at least make some sort of impact, help someone, myself, change a little bit of something about the world around me.
Yeah.
And today I feel like I've done that. So this has been a wonderful conversation, and I still look forward to having more.
Well, thank you so much. Same.